If you're listening to us and you're anywhere near the Glendale, Phoenix, Sun City area, and you want to join us, second Tuesday of every month at 4 o'clock, we meet at Throne. We've got a guy there named Kyle who does a wonderful job with us. There's usually too many people for him to take down names, so he just numbers us at this point. He's like, you're number 1, you're number 2, blah, blah, blah. So good job last night, Kyle. Last week, one thing that you and I, Anthony, after the show talked about was to cram everything in. I generally leave the most important stuff for last because I'm trying to keep people around. I mean, I'm trying to get the fluff out of the way first, and then you have to stick around for the second half if you want to hear the important stuff. And we kind of agreed that the problem is then I either run out of time or it's too rushed. So I'm going to go right into the more important stuff first today, and then we'll get into the fluff later if we have time. As you know, if you listen to the show and you've listened for any length of time, our job is to sound alarms. This, another money show that's tongue-in-cheek. We are not like the others, thank goodness. So, we tell you, we want you proactive, not reactive. We want you prepared, not scared. I think that the only reason more people aren't worried, aren't panicking, they can't face what's going on. I mean, we've been on for 2 years and 2 months now, and we have never had a shortage every week bringing new stuff. It's all negative. I mean, we don't have time to bring you the positive stuff. And we tried to get people to come to our office and pet puppies and kitties, and they didn't show up. Yeah, and now that invitation it stands daily because thank goodness we have an office dog. So big sign on the window, caution, office dog is here. I love this. If you're allergic,
very professional office we have.
Yeah, we're not exactly like the others. So do you even own a tie, Anthony? I'm curious if you even own a tie.
Oh, I love suits. I really do.
That wasn't the question. Do you own a tie?
Oh, I've got like 50.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen... Every time I've seen you in a suit at like a wedding or something, it's, that hip, casual, modern suit without a tie thing.
Yeah, I can rock a casual suit. I don't like ties. I can't get into them. Especially now that you don't have to anymore. I'm just done.
It's like a corporate world news. I mean, who likes ties? Anyway, so we have an office dog. Keep that in mind if you want to come visit us. If you're allergic to dogs, let us know, and we'll make sure the dog stays at Anthony's house that day. One of the reasons, when you talk about canaries in coal mines, it reminds me of another animal analogy. Do you remember the thing about the frog in a pot of water and you put it on the heat? So the frog's enjoying the water, nice fresh water, and then you start turning the heat up and the water starts boiling. Well, the water boils so slowly that the frog gets like kind of lethargic before it has a chance to jump out. You've heard that before, I'm sure. So that's what's going on in this country. Everything we bring you for 2 years and 2 months, none of it goes away. It just piles on. The water is getting to a boiling point though. I mean, we're a frog in a big pot in this country and the pot's boiling. When I look at being early, I really am going to keep saying this. I'm not wrong. I'm just early and it's piling on. I think part of why people can't face it, they don't want to. It's uncomfortable. It's overwhelming. I haven't read it in a while, so I'm going to read it today. Normalcy bias. That is one of my very favorite psychological terms. Well, politically nowadays, it's projection. Look that one up. But normalcy bias, to me, covers why I'm so worried and all the people around me are not. So this is just this one's Wikipedia. Normalcy bias is a cognitive bias which leads people to disbelieve or minimize threat warnings. Consequently, individuals underestimate the likelihood of a disaster, when it might affect them, and its potential adverse effects. The normalcy bias causes many people to not adequately prepare for natural disasters, market crashes, and calamities caused by human error. I figured I'd whip this normalcy bias definition out again today because my talk last night with your neighbor, who I will name unmentioned, but apparently he works on vehicles, he is worried. He's young. He's in his 30s. He's young. And he told me a little bit about his family and his history. And I'm like, well, yeah, they've been through some rough times. And he, like me, agrees that the times that are coming might be rougher. So I don't know. And anyway, enough of my soapbox. Let me start getting into the things that I think are most important for this week and then go down from there. on Monday, and by the way, today is the 12th of June. When I talk about, new information for 2 years and 2 months, do you know we have never repeated a show? Christmas, New Year's, it doesn't matter. Whatever our show recording is that week is new. So if you go wherever you find your favorite podcast, you can go back and hear all of our shows, and we have road mapped what is likely coming through all these different current events. But every show is new. So this past Monday, I believe that would have been about the 10th of June as we record this, we were taken off the petrodollar. There was Saudi Arabia had an agreement in 1974. It was on June 6th, or was it June 8th? I can't remember. 1974, the Nixon era. And we were in real hard times in this country. We had an agreement, like a contract with Saudi Arabia to only exchange oil in the world using the U.S. dollar. We were the world reserve currency. We were the petrodollar standard for commerce. It was removed at midnight this past Sunday. So Monday morning, as we all went to work, we are no longer in a contract with Saudi Arabia. Interestingly enough, on Monday, the oil prices didn't move any more than normal. We're still in the 70 range. So, politicians, go ahead and fill that strategic oil reserve like you said you would before it hits $79 again. So nothing moved. I didn't really think it would. I thought, like everything else, they would keep this out of the media, keep this quiet, and nobody would have to talk about it or worry about it. But
using the petrodollar doesn't necessarily have anything to do with gas prices. It has to do with how other nations buy gas.
I understand that. But what you're saying is this won't affect the production, the OPEC nation. The Saudi Arabia is also, they joined the BRICS nations. So don't you think when they get rid of the dollar and they stop trading in our currency, people won't need our dollar?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. I was waiting for you to get to that point.
Oh,
that
so
will hurt the economy.
Up?
Yeah.
So you're trying to hurry me up? Well, and I think with the OPEC manipulation, I think with them no longer using the dollar around the world, I think it very much will affect the price of oil. I think it's going to accelerate the demise of us as the world reserve currency. That was a big area in which it mattered. And now, as of last Monday, it won't matter. So I think really starting October, we're going to see what the BRICS meeting, has. I think starting in October, we're going to see how big of a deal this is. But basically, it's this thing. It's saying they don't need us. It's saying that they can, they can exchange oil in euros and yuan.
And our whole fiat currency is referred to as the petrodollar, and we're no longer the petrodollar. So we've said that multiple times on this show, that the only reason our dollar is staying up the way that it is, and obviously we're losing to inflation, so it really isn't even staying up at that. It's that we have so much debt as a country, which will only push us along as long as people keep buying it. Well, we just lost the reason for people to buy our currency.
Yes. And don't forget, with the BRICS nations growing like a weed, there's another term I'll give you today, if you're not familiar with it, to look up. Look up M-Bridge. It's like one word, but it's capital M, capital B, small R-I-D-G-E. And let me give you the Wikipedia version of that. M-Bridge is a multi-CBDC platform developed to support real-time, peer-to-peer, cross-border payments and foreign exchange transactions using CBDCs. Based on a blockchain called the M-Bridge Ledger, the platform is designed to ensure compliance with jurisdiction-specific policy and legal requirements, regulations, and governance needs. Currently, 5 entities are jointly developing M-Bridge. They include the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the Bank of Thailand, the Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates, the Digital Currency Research Institute of the People's Bank of China, and the BIS Innovation Hub of Hong Kong Center. So you're noticing these are all like Asia. These are all, I don't see us in here. I didn't see, our country listed in here. It's all come in at once. They're going to be able to use their own money for all kinds of commerce, including oil now.